What's happening, world? It's Shatterproof. It's Saturday. Man, I've just spent a couple of really awesome days in Hanover. I went in there expecting one day, and on my first day it started to rain. I ran into my buddy second shift, who I haven't seen in a long time. Second shift had a hotel room and said, "Hey, Shatterproof, hey, counselor, come spend the night in the room." So we got showers, we got a night in the bed, and we didn't have to be outside in the rain. So the next day we go into town and feeling really good, having a great day. Paper door, and I run into Zena, talking to Zena about how many days of resupply I need to grab from the co-op before I get out of there. And then a southbound hiker comes walking down the road, gives me a smile and stops and says, "Hey," and instantly made friends with a hiker named Weebles. So all of us spent another day in Hanover hanging out with Weebles. Went into a crowded bar room / pizza joint for the first time in 5 months, and it was overwhelming. The four of us walked in there. It had to have been full volume. There's maybe 80 people drinking beer, eating pizza, and they're all talking, yelling at each other, saying, "What? I can't hear you. What? Say it again." Doesn't sound like fun to me or any of us. And we all cringed. Nobody said a word. We just kind of looked at each other, nodded, smiled, flipped around, and got the hell out of there as fast as we could. And we all found out that the flashing signs of civilization and flashing street signs and stoplights were so foreign to us. It was like we had been desensitized for so many years, and now we spent 5 months living in our serene environment, and all of a sudden threw ourselves back into the nightlife of the concrete jungle. And man, it scared the hell out of me, and it scared the hell out of everyone else. We kind of made our way back to the woods as fast as possible. Get back to the woods, made a fire, spent the night making smiles, making laughs, making memories. It was really good. The next morning, yesterday, I got up, decided I was going to clean the campsite up. It looked like hobos had been living there. There was just trash everywhere, water jugs from other hikers, mountain house wrappers, discarded gear that was wet and smelled like mildew and must and had mold growing on it. So clearly nobody's going to use this stuff. It's just sitting there mucking up the place. So I started cleaning all of it up, and no sooner than I started did Weebles come out of her tent, and she started cleaning it up with us, and the counselor cleaned it up, and man, it was awesome. We got all this cleaned up, we took it to the dumpster in town, and then we had to return this scooter that we had found the night before. So we bring this Razor scooter over to the school and put it in their lost and found box. I can only imagine what the ladies at the Lost and Found are saying as Weebles walks in there and says, "Do you have a Lost and Found? Can I put this Razor scooter in there?" So it's a little kid who finds his scooter in Hanover, New Hampshire. I hope you enjoy it. That scooter had a lot of fun the night before. So yeah, now we do that and head on into town, grab breakfast at Lou's, and spend the day kind of just relaxing, hanging out. End up camping in Hanover last night. But meanwhile, yesterday, I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is a Trail Karma pendant that Weebles had been wearing. It was given to her on the Kinkora hardcore work crew after trail days. It says, "The trail is what we make it." And on the back, they're all individually numbered. They're number 1 through 500. This particular one happens to be number 1, and the intention is to pass it on to another hiker when you see them doing their Trail Karma. So at breakfast, she took it off her neck, and afterwards she said, "Here you go, Shatterproof. This, sir, is your trail karma. You've earned it. Just that I hiked all these miles and I didn't think I would find the person who this belonged to, but it belongs to you. So that was a really sentimental moment for me, and it means a lot to me. It means even more knowing that this is number one. It came from Weebles, but before it came from Weebles, I believe it came from Bob Peoples. And Bob Peoples is Good Peoples, but Bob Peoples is a man who is a legend and definitely a trail angel. He's devoted the better half of his life, the better second half of his life, to helping hikers out, helping the Appalachian Trail. And he also played a really big part in my hike, spiritually and mentally, getting me to slow down and focus on the journey rather than focus on the destination. And lately I've been focused on the destination. You know, my budget's getting disparagingly low. I've had some gear breakdowns, I've had some gear theft, and unfortunately that's just like beating the crap out of my budget. And I've been basically looking at the rest of my hike as a sprint to Katahdin, rather than a journey that gets me there. And with this pendant, it kind of reminded me that it is the journey and it's not the destination. So I'm going to go back to being on this incredible journey I'm on, and taking my time like Bob Peoples asked me to, and seeing what I see in the spirit of Benton Mackay and his vision on the Appalachian Trail. Walking into towns, exploring these towns, meeting people, asking people stories, and listening to people's stories. Because for me, that's what it's all about. And to you, it might not be about that, but for me, that's where my hike is. So that's what's going to happen. And if I run out of money before I get to Maine, it is what it is. To quote Bob Peoples, why you running from Katahdin? Because Katahdin's not running from you. It'll be there when you get there. So if I don't get there this year, it'll be there another year. Happy Saturday, everybody. This is Shatterproof saying hey.